I find it kind of funny that Peter Parker is perceived as a teenage character by general audiences. Because as someone who grew up in the 2000s, I was always under the impression that Peter Parker is an adult character. And I just cannot seem to be as invested in a teenage Peter Parker. Because, like, pretty much every single comic that I grew up with had a married Peter Parker, mostly because I stuck to the main universe comics, where Peter Parker hasn't been a teenager since the 60s. And I grew up on the Tobey Maguire movies, which mostly featured an adult Peter Parker despite starting in high school. And my initial first exposure to Peter Parker in the animated world was the 90s animated series, which again featured an adult Peter Parker. So my first impression of Peter Parker was always that he was an adult superhero dealing with adult responsibilities, and that's the Peter Parker I really grew to like. But I think Marvel really changed course after the 2000s by making pretty much every single Spider Man adaptation feature a teenage Peter Parker. And while that did lead to some good stuff like the Spectacular Spider Man show, I still do not really get the fascination with the teenage Peter Parker because I feel like the adult Peter Parker is a vastly more compelling character. Even now, I feel like in recent years, my favorite adaptations have been the Insomniac Spider Man games and the Spider Man we got in the Spider Man movies. I still really hope to see an adult Peter Parker get the spotlight in an animated show once again, or even a live action movie that actually features Peter Parker as an adult superhero again, because I feel like that's the Peter Parker I grew up with, and that's the Peter Parker I really want to get see in the spotlight.